Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Reckless Attack. We are a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Nathan. So excited to be here once again with you all, and most importantly, around the table with my beautiful, beautiful players. Hello, beautiful players.
I am the beautiful player, thank you.
Yeah. I am beautiful players.
Yeah, I appreciate that, yes.
Beautiful player number 1, in not order of preference or power, only in counterclockwise motion. Could you please start us off by introducing yourself?
Hello, everyone. I am player number 1, first among equals. Steve.
So this is the beginning of the end of the podcast. is what we've just done.
We all know I win all.
It's true. Sophie will be the only one on the podcast.
And I, as always, even from before the break, am playing Sylv Asterlin, the Dragonborn monk, who's pretty relaxed right now.
Hey.
Feeling good.
Pretty chilled.
Yeah, everything seems to be going well. What could possibly go wrong? Let's move on to the next campaign.
Next whole campaign. Self-retired.
Self-retired.
Okay, all right.
And to my right,
Hi, everyone. I'm David, and I play Cascarin Brightmane, the Dwarven Warlock. It is settling on me the gravity of how many times I've said that exact phrase.
roughly 44 times, in fact.
It's a lot, yeah. I'm like, oh man, I do say that a lot, huh? Don't I? Perhaps sometimes twice a night. And to my right.
Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan, and I play Checkers, the Grung Druid, and his trusty frog pals, Mango and Junior.
And Billiam.
I'm gonna leave Billiam out for right now, just because I don't know. Fine, we'll just leave him there for right now.
No, Jonathan,
I'll-
don't let my misunderstanding of the glory of the Frog Stack keep you from listing every member of the Frog Stack, whether or not they are there all the time. They are always in our hearts.
I just imagine that there's like a random actual frog that just like hops in to the pond, just entirely unaffiliated with Checkers.
like photo bombs them.
Yeah, right. It's just like some frog, and then
It just is there.
Yeah, we just always have to reference it in all of our intros from now on, forever.
Mm-hmm.
But Checkers is both investigating and potentially causing crimes in the city of Agmar.
Good.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And to my right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sophie, and I play Valeska Carter, the human asterisk redacted
Oh.
cleric of the Arcana.
Oh, I
Domain.
thought you were just going to go redacted. Boom.
yeah,
That's it. And a description.
Was never a cleric this whole
Redacted,
time.
redacted of the redacted domain.
if that's your real name.
Oh. That was a real
Sophie,
pause.
yeah, is really just giving us that quizzical, pensive look.
I think she was giving herself a quizzical, pensive look.
It was a combination of how did they find that out so
Yeah.
quickly, and
Is
how
it?
do I cover this?
Oh, I think it was like, wait a second. Am I forgetting some of my own lore?
Am I, Val?
I wrote a lot of a Google
There's
Doc
lore.
to you.
There's
to Nathan.
there's lore. Capital L lore. Maybe even a capital O lore. Speaking of lore, last we left our heroes, it has been a couple weeks since the attacks of the Moth Menagerie upon the Red City of Agmar. You guys have been plenty busy checking things off your to-do list. Most pressingly, you all have been called into wherever you'd like to meet with Alarith, the PI tree guy, who says that he might have some information for you, as well as... Well, he wasn't exactly clear on what he had for you, basically, but he said, I have something for you. Can we talk? You guys are kind of on your way to talk now, but the other important thing is that Val, after much waiting, after great anticipation, and after what I would imagine is many hoops of paperwork, has gotten a small update on her recent application to enter into the restricted area of the Agmar Library. And that is where we will begin our action. I guess I will say at least the three of you, being Salve, Cass and Checkers are starting to walk towards the where would you
conference
like?
room.
Yeah,
The conference room
Yeah.
where we met previously with Alrith.
excellent. And again, walking past the carving of Alarith as you go, or into, I think we decided it was in a corner, or like
Yeah.
at the table physically.
Like one of the chairs has been removed, and it's just Alarith kind of sitting at the table the whole time.
There's really like a 50-50 chance whether or not Casquin has covered up the statue of Alareth or Checkers has taken off the covering. Yeah.
Gotcha. We'll be sure to roll at the beginning of each
Yeah.
day to determine.
I thought it was going to be one of those things where, like, when you're leaving the locker room and you, like, slap the
like
name
for
or the
good
brand.
luck
Yeah, for good
before the
luck.
game.
Yeah. It's like we high five the wooden Alrith.
They're slowly being worn down on one of its hands.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that Val has other things on her mind, as detailed at the end of the last session. Sophie, how does Val react to this information? Does she make loud noises? Does she just secret it away? What's her reaction?
So Berga didn't use any words, just like
No.
made big eyes, and like she and Val like good enough friends that she's like, oh, and she stands frozen for a moment. And then does this weird, like, diving tackle. Like, not knowing how to process it. And so from the conference room, you all hear this big, like, crash. Probably similar to the sounds Taroth
I
makes.
was
So
gonna
it's like,
say, yeah.
again, toss up if you all come out to check what's happened. But I'm assuming as Val, like, dived to grab it, she knocked, like, half of the things off of Berga's desk.
And Berga is unsurprised.
And just, like, on the ground, rolls on her back to, like, open her.
We're like peeking through from the door
Yeah.
now.
So it's like Selv's head,
Yeah.
Cass's head,
Yeah.
Checkers' head, and then
You all-
Alarith's head above Selv's.
You all probably don't see anything, but Val's just behind Berga's
Yeah.
desk on the ground.
Could be, but you see a pile. Maybe there's been an attack. Who's to say?
We just see, like, we don't see Val's face. We see her like legs kicking as
Yeah.
she's like reading this thing.
Sophie, could you please, and I don't know whether you want to do this aloud, whether you want to do it whatever, but for the sake of those around the table and for those listening at home, could you please read the note that has been sent to you?
Yes. To the attention of Valeska Carter. Thank you for your application for specialized research in the restricted section of the Agmar Library.
The all caps parts are where they had to write it in their form-filled response.
We appreciate the enthusiasm of all who seek to learn more of our immortal history, journey in the imagination of our finest fiction writers, and otherwise delve into the wealth of knowledge we store here. We are writing to inform you that the library has decided to tentatively approve your application. Your next steps include a final meeting detailing your plans and all precautions taken to ensure the safety of our collection of books, relics, and other historic items, as well as the safety of reality. If you have any questions, please reach out to the front desk as soon as you are able. Best of luck in your academic endeavors.
Can I just say that I'm imagining that whole like last sentence as like a checkbox that they check in on their forms? Like that's just one of the checkbox items.
Yes.
That they just fill in for everyone.
That could be very true. It's not used often,
Right.
but when it is used, it's important.
I am a little surprised that they don't require additional forms of identification, like a bill at your current address.
Oh, no, that's...
Oh,
that
already
is-
submitted.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
This is what we are reading now is like step 5 of this process. But Val has been so diligent and has the weight of a guild and a guild who has just recently saved the city to start poking into this. line of
Every day
inquiry.
when she checked in with Andromeda, Andromeda's like, oh, and also I'm going to need this form of it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to need like 5 references. And Val's like, great, I already have them.
Yeah, I just carry references around with me in this bag at
Yeah.
all times, just
Pull
in
out
case.
the second wallet, and then this is the thing, the cards drop down.
Yeah. What is Val's immediate reaction to this news?
She reads that like 10 times.
And you guys just see, again, maybe Val legs kicking over
Oh,
Berger's
no,
desk
she
or
is
something.
Completely still. Like the
Deadly
only
still.
thing moving are her eyes to read this note.
I think like Burga would just like shoo us away. Like she'll be a minute. She's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's okay. I will watch her. I will tell you. I'll make sure she is taken care of. Do not worry.
Yeah, and then we all just kind of like slowly, one by one, go back into the conference room.
Very good. Very good.
Val needs like a moment to collect
Yeah.
herself.
Val knows. They'll tell you if anything important comes up.
She just like has like tears welling in her eyes, and she just like mind links Burga. It's like, I almost got in.
So the door closes behind you guys as you leave. Val, stock still, like a corpse on the floor, I guess. But an excited corpse? I don't know.
She did turn undead.
Yeah.
I suppose we can fill her in on whatever we discuss here.
Yeah, exactly. And the three of you, plus Alarith, the PI tree guy, all sit around your conference table. And Alarith, again, whose skin is made out of bark, who always wears a, kind of fantasy fedora and trench coat, sits down and kind of leans over to you guys. He looks at you guys and he says, good to see you're all well. I don't know what's going on out there with Val, but you guys don't seem worried, so I won't be either. I'm here for a couple of matters, actually. First of all, sounds like you've been busy around the city. That's good to hear. Jobs are good.
We've been keeping busy.
And I assume that means you're in good spirits. I hope.
You ask as if that is going to change shortly.
I'll put it this way. I have worked in this city in this line of work for some time. I've worked with guilders, I've worked with all kinds of people. This way of life isn't for everybody. This hard-boiled kind of existence that we lead, it can take a toll. Especially if you're like me, a lone wolf. He just looks off.
So good. So good.
Oh, you don't have to be alone for that much longer.
He looks at you and looks at the carving of himself, and then looks at anyone who is not checklist. As long as you're doing well, I have some good news, I think. 2 pieces, in fact. First, the easy one. And he reaches into one of the pockets in his coat, and he tosses a bag on the table, which clatters in some telltale sounds of gold pieces. My contract's up with my prior client that I was working on behalf of during the Mothman case, and they wanted to ensure that they personally thanked you for your part in protecting the city and your discretion. As I'm sure you know, I can't divulge anything more other than you have gotten the appreciation and attention of a wealthy client.
Thank you.
Second, I've been asking around a little bit, in the way that I do, listening, really. I heard a thing or two about some members of the Bones who were, let's say, not feeling so hot. And you guys would know this is not, it's not like top secret, but it's also not.
He's talking about the untethered.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Catherine is actually surprised that he has heard this much, especially with how much effort, like, both the guild and Vina
Yep.
have taken to keep this under wraps.
Yeah, and again, it's not like classified, but no one's talking about it.
Right.
He gives you guys kind of a meaningful look of like, I know, if you know what I mean, if you know what I know, and then we know the same thing, and then we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of cocks an eyebrow and he says, well, way I understand it, the kind of medicine that you might be looking for is pretty rare and potent stuff, shall we say. And while I may not know the medicine, I might know a pharmacist, or I might know someone who knows a pharmacist, if you catch my meaning.
Indeed.
I don't get it. I just look at Caskrin and like Checkers is like listening intently and just like and with that last one it's like
Not followed. You lost me there.
He's saying he knows someone that can help us fix the bones. He doesn't know what the solution is, but he knows, like, and Caskrin's like explaining to Checkers.
But you explain
Yeah.
it to Checkers, and as you do, maybe Selv, you would see Alarith kind of like just imperceptibly slump just a little bit. A little sad.
I understood what you meant.
And Alarith kind of gives you an appreciative nod before, continuing after Cass catches Checkers back up. And
Why didn't you just say that?
and he just kind of looks and then slowly looks at you and then slowly looks down.
Alarith's occupation sometimes deals in subtleties.
Yes. Yes. And he just pauses for a moment. Anyway, I know a guy. In fact, we know a guy who's appreciative of some recent efforts.
Selv's gaze kind of shifts towards the direction of
The shed.
the shed. Yeah.
Know a guy who deals in medicine.
and then there's the look on Selv's face of I both hope that they are not talking about
Etris.
Etris in the shed over there. Yeah.
And he says, we know someone. And this someone is just coming off the mend and might be appreciative towards a certain large amphibious individual for, shall we say, pulling their hamburger patty off the grill. And he says, obviously struggling with that one.
Cass, what does that mean? I don't actually know either.
I'm talking about Garnek the Minotaur. Look.
Well, why didn't you just say that? Why didn't you just say that?
All right.
I feel
sorry.
like Alarith is really wishing Val.
I was literally about to say, it's like, I don't know. Should we check to see if Val is, I don't want to miss anything.
There was a moment when you went from 14 passive insight to 16 passive insight, and I couldn't do that one.
And he says, so I don't know how much you know about Garnak. I know you ran into him. You helped him get out of a dark alleyway. I don't know if he can pull this off. From what I understand, again, I don't know the specifics. I don't need to know the specifics. I don't want to know the specifics. But let's say Garnak, he knows some powerful people. Powerful people not in the city of Agmar, but powerful people nonetheless that, if not willing, might be able to help. Might be worth asking.
Does he know that this is something we're looking for? He knows
Seems
that
to.
we know. Okay.
Yeah, it seems to know that, he's not really going into specifics, and you can roll an insight to see whether that is because he doesn't know specifics or because he's being Alarith cagey.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows enough to be like, you should have a conversation.
I'm not going to roll, but my passive insight is 16. So if that tells me anything.
I'll put it this way. Alarith is a person who always has a lot of angles, a lot of irons in the fire, but if he thought telling you more information would be useful to him or to you, he would. He says he's coming here just kind of of his own volition.
Mm-hmm.
And giving you information. So if he knows more, so be it, but he's not hiding anything from you. I'll put it that way.
And it's been a week or two since we've managed to get out to the Bones Barracks. Do you know how they're keeping on?
I know patrols are lessened, are closer. Other than that, I don't know too much. I don't really get out that way. Let's put it this way. Their barracks and my naturally mossy skin don't really get along too well. Nothing against them, just leaves with an awful rash, you understand.
Mm-hmm. But the chicken's still in the coop?
As far as I know,
I
back to
appreciate
chickens.
the back and forth of
Back to
PI,
chickens.
PI versus Cass PI, and
Mhm.
PI in each other.
Yeah, Cass,
He's trying. Again, he speaks the language.
Yeah,
He's trying.
exactly.
He speaks PI language?
He's trying.
That's what I'm saying. I appreciate his.
You kept the egg in the frying pan, right? It's still there?
As far as I know, it's still sizzling.
Maybe just actively just rubbing his temple at this point.
You're speaking Leaves can't.
Yeah.
But I
Oh no!
Oh my god.
We've lost David. He's not going to be able to record for at least 5 minutes.
That was good.
Yeah, he's out. We can't. Steve, you're going to have to cool it.
Pause for edit.
No more puns for 5 minutes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I don't know if I can play Alarith without just saying dumb shit though. So that's gonna be a real challenge.
We've lost both sayings.
Yep.
now.
It's catching on.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard any further updates.
So how can we get a hold of Garnak?
Garnak and I have we go back, done a couple things together over the years. I could have him swing by. Garnak's the agreeable sort. He's a bit bullheaded, but I think knowing I vouched for you, knowing that you did him a service back in the square, I think he'd be fine to come swing by.
Then I think we should, we have a couple ways to get in contact with Garnak. I think we can still call him today. Maybe he'll pop by later tonight. As long as he knows that you vouched for us, I think we'll get in good.
Please let him know that.
Yeah, if he stops by before I get a chance to say anything to him, just remind him about the time he was stuck up the Cardinal River without a paddle. He kind of winks at you, and he'll know what I mean. He'll know what you mean. He'll know what you mean, what I mean.
And Kaskrin gives him like an exaggerated wink and is like, "Oh, we'll let him know. We'll tell him."
Anything else that I can help you with, either now or in the future? If you ever have need of my services, please let me know.
We will indeed.
And Kaskrin will call out specifically, "Thank you for making an appointment."
He gets up from his chair and he gives you guys kind of a nod as this is all kind of happening and wrapping up, and you say that. And just as he kind of does his little like flick of the brim of his hat to say goodbye, you see him start to step backwards into the wall again. And as soon as you say that, like he has like a heel through, and he stops and he looks at all of you. And then in one final defeated trudge, walks out the door, past Berga and past Val, and you hear the door closing in the distance.
Val and Berger are like in the little waiting room, just like sitting together.
Yes.
She's off the floor.
Yeah.
Good. Progress has been made.
Yeah.
I imagine even at this point, there's like a bench like in the main foyer or something, and then Valeska is like sitting on it, looking at this letter, reading it again, and Burgo's like in front of her, and then there's Hody, and then there's Colaprico, and then there's Taran, like all peering over everyone's shoulder to read this thing.
So, the three of you have a bit of information, and you, Valeska Carter, have a bit of information.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that these are potentially two pieces of the puzzle in terms of helping the bones out. One, getting kind of the information and we'll call it schematics for lack of a better word, kind of the arcane knowledge needed to hopefully reforge the bands and maybe have someone powerful enough to actually do it.
And this is once Val gets into the restricted section, that's when we find out there's a restricted plus section and then a super restricted section.
Exactly.
I don't want to go to the library. That sounds boring.
You guys don't know yet. You haven't come over.
I'll
You haven't gone
save
to the
that.
library
Yeah.
one time.
Well, after Alarith we'll kind of
Every time.
yeah, kind of come out and see, you guys are huddled, and we'll ask like, what you got there?
Val will look up at the three of you. You can see her eyes still have a little bit of moisture in them and just say like, one more step towards getting access to the restricted section.
Oh, congratulations.
Wow.
Thank you. And she's like clutching the parchment still. Everyone can tell to her this is like a huge deal, and it's like but you also just got one step further in the bureaucracy of this permit.
But Val, you would know this is basically the last step. You got news that you are tentatively approved. You just have to have one last meeting to basically say, like, here's our plan, here's what we're going to do, here's what we're looking for, and here's how we're going to try to hope that maybe we don't explode the city while we do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have a question about the access. Are you granted access for a specific thing, or are you granted access and then anytime you need it, you can go in there and look stuff up?
So, people don't go into the restricted section of the library, period. It is magically sealed off from the rest of the library. It was kind of like an emergency contingent thing, and
The blast doors have been shut.
that is exactly correct. No one knows what's going on back there right now. It is emitting so much magical energy because that's where all the spells were, where magical items were, and God knows what else the Pentarchy didn't want to keep for themselves, but still allowed to be there, is all there. And over the years of being unattended during the Ultra Giants and all sorts of who knows what else, it has gone a little banana pancakes. And no one knows how dangerous it is in there.
I would like to change the tone of my wow to wow.
Now that you know the context.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that would be what you go ahead.
I would say, why don't we do the less scary and intense one first and see what Garnak has to say?
What's the scary and less intense one?
We have a potential lead, and I will point over to Statue Alareth over there, who has mentioned that Garnak, our Minotaur friend, may be able to help us reassemble the bands.
Oh, interesting.
Or at least he knows someone who knows someone or something. I didn't really get the whole thing.
Yeah, we gotta talk to him because then we can get the band back together.
Ooh, man.
David's on
I am
fire
so disappointed in myself for
I'm
not
fucking
getting
shutting
that
it
one.
down here tonight, everybody. That's it. That's the end of the episode.
But it will at least be easier than maybe doing the last step of the approval process.
Val looks at you with shock and disappointment.
Oh, I meant we're gonna do it. Just the order.
Again, shock and disappointment that you think Val would do anything else in this moment than prepare for her interview to the restricted section of the library.
When is this interview?
It's pretty much like you come when you're ready.
Okay.
Because this is like your final, like, you're defending your thesis.
Yeah.
Essentially, where you're coming in with, like, not necessarily a plan because, like, you don't really know, but, like, come in, be like, we think we can do this safely and blah, blah, blah. Stuff that theoretically you've kind of already worked out through the process, but, like, the final... You are talking through. We believe that through enough arcane warding, we will be able to do this, that, and the other thing, and we have this proven track record. You know, that sort of final statement of case.
I'm excited to do the mock interviews. And have the three of us listen to your case and then try to poke holes in it.
Yep. Checkers will be the real curveball.
Yeah, Checker just pokes you the whole time. Physically.
Val just lets it happen because she's like, no, I need to focus.
Every edge I can get.
Wow. Hey, wow. Is this distracting? You're going to have to put up with this in the restricted section.
But he's talking through the kazoo.
Yeah.
Then I guess our decision is made.
Well, no, Val said that she's preparing for her
Okay.
interview,
Yeah,
and that's her priority right this second.
Okay.
So
But-
it was, if you're able to do that sending thing to Garnak and let him know that we would like to talk to him and to stop by whenever he's
Oh, yeah, I can send a message. That takes no time. I'm not going to traipse around the city when I have an interview to prepare for. What am I asking?
Hello, Garnak. Stop. Please stop
I
by
have
the Golden Free
actually
Adventuring Guild. Stop.
Pulled up a word counter on my...
Awesome. Great.
Alareth said that Garnak might be able to help us fix the bones or know someone that would be able to help us. And we would just like to meet with him so we could talk about it.
Alaric said to bring your frying pan. Stop.
What? Wait. What?
I don't know. He said something about it.
I wasn't paying attention.
Val looks to cast himself like, do I ask
Is that
about
real?
frying pan?
No, ship it, go.
You know how Alrith is. He just says stuff.
So Val will cast sending.
Yes. And you have met him, so you have no problem sending. That's fine.
Cool. It's Val. We heard you could help us with a job, and we hope you can stop by today at your earliest convenience. Thanks. Bye.
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 3-second pause. Bye. Very shortly. And you would know that, like, the response time changes drastically between individuals, in part because some people are not used to receiving psychic messages. But this one comes back pretty quickly. Sure, I'll be by the Golden Tree Guild here within the hour.
He'll be here within the hour.
Oh, well, that was fast and easier than expected. Thanks, Garnak.
I'm going to prepare. And then Val just like strides off to the desk of doing.
Okay, bye.
She's got time.
Yes. Val is off preparing. Is there anything you guys want or need to do in the hour between?
Selva's just going to take the moment to probably go and meditate for maybe 20 or 30 minutes just to relax, knowing that once we start in on whatever this is going to be, he might not have a chance to do that comfortably anymore or for a while.
I would just like for their Colaprico just knows Val's going to the desk of doing and comes and sits on her lap like a cat would, and just like is like a lap chicken, and like keeps her warm.
I'll
while
do you
she's at
one
the
better.
desk of doing.
You have a lap chicken,
Mm-hmm.
and within about 2 further minutes, you hear the clip-clop of tiny hooves, and a small donkey baby jumps on, like, the back of your chair, and so now you cannot move. It is very uncomfortable, but, like, somehow the desk of doing still makes it work, as you have also a Hody in your chair.
I'm just imagining Hody like not curled up, but just like sprawled.
Yes.
Like fireman's carry over Val's shoulders,
Absolutely.
basically.
I imagine that because you've used the desk of doing so much, you have unlocked a feature where you can pull out a retractable platform or extra thing to set things on of any size from the side of the desk of doing, and you pull something out, and then like Colaprico just like slowly wanders over to there and sits there instead.
Got the built-in bird nest.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm just imagining like an extendable seat cushion. So
Yeah.
it's like a double seat.
Yeah.
So Colaprico's in Val's lap, and then Hody just curls up next to her, but like sneaks their sweet tiny baby donkey head like between Val and Colaprico. So there's just like a donkey.
Correct.
Donkey head on her lap and then a chicken on her
Yep.
lap.
And they're vibing.
Yeah.
They are fine with this arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to add one tiny detail to Val's desk of doing adventure.
I'm here for it.
In that the next time you sit down at the desk of doing, you actually find sitting on top of the desk is like these 6 sheets of paper arranged in a very specific way. And on these sheets of paper is a drawing of a weird little skeleton, like all across the sheets of paper, like a mosaic kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in the section where there's the ribs,
Mm-hmm.
there's just like that tiny little bone that we found in that magic spooky cave.
Awesome.
It's just like stuck to the piece of paper,
Yeah.
and that's what you find. And there's like a question mark next to it.
Perfection.
Yep. Absolutely understand Val's assignment, and maybe she does get distracted by a tiny bone shard.
I heard that question mark in the kazoo sound.
Yeah.
Within a relatively short amount of time, you hear a rap on your front door, and Berga ushers in the large Mino-Torn, Garnak, who joined you in the Mothman fight, was pulled into an alleyway by a dark alleyway, but was successfully saved by Checkers. Sort of. It was complicated, but saved. He is here. So therefore,
Saved by one of the stack.
Yes.
exactly.
Aren't we all saved by one of them? No.
And you guys see again this very large individual who is supremely beefy. No pun intended, but pun
Pun intended.
but
all
pun,
pun.
pun appreciated, we'll
Yeah.
say. And is still looking a little bit, kind of like stiff, but seems to be pretty much on the mend, or totally on the mend. He kind of nods at you all. Good evening. Happy to answer any questions that I might have. What kind of help can I offer you all?
We just met with Alarith, and we have an issue that you might be able to help with, or know someone that might be able to help with.
And then basically Selv will explain what we're looking for.
It's always, you know one person, and this guy knows another person, and skillets and whatever with that guy. If Alarith is telling you, that's okay. And then you explain kind of like
So
the extent of it.
We'll start off with just that we are looking to be able to recreate the bands that basically tether the bones for a couple of reasons. One of them was that we discovered and had a fight with a creature that was able to break those.
Shit. He wants me to introduce you to Lorana.
Lorana?
Lorana Moonglove is one of the most powerful druid, sorcerer, witches, whatever word, in this part of the continent. She lives in one of the villages that's still kind of around out in the boonies. A real pain in my ass.
Val does laugh at that.
That does
Because you clash of personalities.
A clash of a lot. She's an ex.
the plot chickens.
Damn it.
Do you think that would be a problem, getting an audience with her?
I mean, getting there is not going to be fun. It's not on a road. Once you're there, she'll listen. She'll listen to you. Maybe not me. But, I'll let her know. I can let her know you're coming, and she always liked challenges and that kind of stuff, so I'm not happy to say, but Alarith is right. She's really good. She'll probably maybe help you.
Is there any way before we travel there to make that maybe certainly?
Like I said, and he's like defeated.
I'm sorry to put this upon you.
It is what it is. I'll reach out and I'll give her just enough information to get her interested.
If you do not want to talk to her directly, maybe a letter of introduction.
No, she'll need to know you're coming. It's magically complicated.
I'm assuming to get there and to get into where she is magically complicated.
Yeah.
Where is there?
I really hate how cool it is to say that it's nowhere.
Val looks at him with wonder. And Nathan takes the map from Sophie.
So, her little, village commune thing is straight west of here. Middle of nowhere. But a ways out. You have to be let in.
Okay.
And if I explained more right now, my mouth would catch on fire.
Oh, that kind of magically protected.
Well, that's one of the ways.
Oh, that explains a lot. Please don't let your mouth catch on fire. We're good.
Yeah.
Are you coming would you have to come with us?
No. I'm
Just send the message as you're rolling this.
Yeah, I'm just really busy right now.
That's fair. I meant more like, would you have to come with us? Not like,
no. If
you don't want to come, please set your boundaries.
Want? I don't
Garnak.
know about want, but
If you do want to come with us, you're more than welcome. But we won't be leaving for a while. Take some time to reflect on that and where you and Lenora stand. And Val like reaches a hand across the table and like pats his hand.
And it's a big ass hand.
Yeah.
And he just like looks at you and looks down at the hand and then looks kind of like up at the ceiling and is like, yeah, I'll take that time.
Mm-hmm. We appreciate your help very much.
No, it's good. It's good. Thank you, Alarith. It's good. This is fine.
Val just keeps patting his hand.
Would you like some tea?
Yeah, I would. If you got anything stronger, that's good.
I was gonna ask, you want something stronger in that tea? And she like looks at Cass like, there's something here, right? I don't know.
Yeah, Cascarin
Goes out to Etris's shack.
Right, yeah.
And so Garnak is kind of talking through this, and he says, "Yeah, there's like, it's like this. It's been nice. But it's like this whole thing to like reach out.
Mm-hmm.
It takes some time. I won't do it here, just because it'll take a while.
That's fair.
And I want to drink this.
Yeah.
First.
Take some drinks. Take some sips. Take a breath. We appreciate your help with all of this and understand that it can't happen instantly.
I will ask too, how long do you think it would take us to get to nowhere?
Several days.
Interesting. I knew we would have to leave the city, but that is a long trip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We can prepare for that, start planning once we find out more.
Perhaps one of the bones would want to come with.
Sylv, get out of my brain.
We're not even mind
I'm not even mind linked.
Sorry, I didn't know I was capable of that.
Jokes on you, mind link's actually a permanent problem.
I'm always in your brain. And Garnak just kind of like nods and sips his tea and like is slowly adding more stronger liquid to it as he does. And he says, I don't want to be rude. So I just wanted to say thank you all. I was a little indisposed of for a lot of the whole shadow skull creature situation. I definitely noticed when frogs came to help. I assume that was you.
Yeah, don't mention it.
Val like gives Checkers a thumbs up at the table.
Yeah, it's a good city, you know? There's good people here.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them.
Yeah, it's a city.
I mean, like, yeah, you get it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people just trying their best here. Even if they don't all agree on what the best is or whatever, you did good. And I appreciate being alive. So thanks for that, too.
Of course.
With that, there's a pause, and Garnak kind of like gives one last sigh, drains the mostly alcohol in his teacup, and just kind of like does the classic, almost like dad sit up where you kind of hit your thighs and then kind of rock forward.
Well, time to get going.
Exactly. And it's like
That for 25 minutes.
Yeah. It's like, all right, I'll reach out tonight. Tell her what I can tell her. I'll tell her enough. We'll get it figured out. Do you guys have like a timeline you're looking at when you might want to leave?
We need a little bit of time to prepare,
Mm-hmm.
but we could probably start heading out the day after tomorrow.
Can we make it 3 days?
3 days after tomorrow? Do you want to go to the library first?
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you sure about that?
Val has basically already prepared everything because she has grilled Andromeda on the entire process and knew ahead of time what she would need. She's basically already prepared for the interview.
Okay.
I, Sophie, am not.
Right. But Yeah, and Garnak says, and you know, she's particular, but I know the buttons to push, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So you take what time you need. You know how to get a hold of me. I'll keep you updated. You keep me updated.
That sounds like a plan. Thank you again. Do you need one for the road? And she holds the empty teacup.
No,
Just points at
Torts and Ports is right around here, right?
Yep.
Oh,
mhm.
yeah. No, I'm good. Yeah. Okay. Well, good meeting you, I guess. I mean, it is. And he's like one of those where
Yeah.
he's walking out and monologuing to himself.
Just
It was good.
Say
It was,
hi down
yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
He'll be there.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself, Garnak.
Yeah.
And boyo.
Now, you guys have a small path forward, a couple of threads to pull on, and a lot of potential danger ahead. We will decide what danger you face when and where next time on Reckless Attack. Yay! End of episode.
Quests have been given.
Yay!
Library.
Did Garnak, did he speak? I can't remember. I thought so.
He did. I think he did.
It's just a gruff kind of
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds good.
He cast haste
Did
once. Yeah. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah, he was like, go. And then he said 3 words.
That's what I thought. I was trying to remember.
Hey, you got a touch with me with the sending.
Yeah.
Very nice. I will be over forthwith.
Okay.
The episode's just getting worse.
Hey, we had that break. Got a lot of catching up to do.